Hello everybody and welcome to the final Investigator Design video with me and Beard, where we put all of our initial ideas down. We're going to play test them and then we're going to get these all finalized and packaged up for all of you. But we're here with our last one, the Guardian one. We're saving the best for last. And we have a few ideas for flavor for this one, at least like for character type. And what's the deck building for this one again? What is the backside? Is it Survivor Seeker?
Yep.
Wow, I can't believe I remember that. That's crazy. Okay. Well, Survivor and Guardian already have a lot of cross between them, so that's really easy. And Guardian also has a lot of cross, and Seeker already have a lot of cross between them, so I actually don't think it's going to be that hard to, I don't think we need to go that far out of our way to make those work, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's going to be a little easier than the last couple.
Did you have any initial ideas for a place to explore for this, or is this like the Seeker where we're kind of coming in empty?
I think we're just kind of coming in empty. The only thing I could think of really was when I sent you the ideas for the nurse.
Yeah.
There was some that looked like World War I battlefield nurses, so we could make like one that's also a veteran.
Okay, yeah.
And I
I'm
sent
down
you
for
the
that.
Morticians and Undertakers in a batch a while ago, and any of those could work too.
Yeah.
But I get almost more like a mysticky vibe for that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. And the other idea I had was the cliche detective 1 week out of retirement to just be like a super soak machine, you know? Like he just dies, but that's kind of Hank. So I think the nurse could be pretty fun.
Yeah, and a cop that soaks is also Tommy.
It's true, yeah. I also just finished binge watching The Pit, and it was all about nurses and like it's like in an ER, I'm very much feeling the medical vibe, so I'm down for that.
And let's commit to it.
All right, Oriestesi, by the way, 13 months at the Golden Table. Thank you for Twitch Prime. Your Bezos bucks will go far. I'll use them to buy more games for the channel, so thank you so much. All right, let's why don't we start with the art? Let's pick one that we kind of like.
Let's see.
Oh. Okay, I think I like the top one, and then the bottom two on the left and center.
The one that was speaking to me the most was the bottom left.
All right, if that's the one that we both had between us, let's do that one then. That's easy.
And unfortunately, I don't know the artist's name for this. It was on an art site as an anonymous French artist.
Then let's put that down. We'll credit it to the best that we can as anonymous French artist. All right, now let's see if I can spell anonymous. Anonymous French artist. Is that how you spell anonymous? Yes! So. Let's go! All right, give me Guardian Investigator. All right, and for people at home, this is just temp for this. We're going to make better versions of these. Beer's already been doing it for all of them, and they look a lot better with those changes. So don't worry. We're not going to be worrying too much about her art. It's just so you guys kind of have an idea of what we're going with. So what should we, like, something along the lines of, like, War Medic, but is there a term for that?
Just battlefield medic, or I guess you could just call her the nurse because a lot of them were just.
Yeah, we can just go with the nurse. Yeah, and we can just have the story exist through, like veteran and medic, just like that right there.
I think so.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. Field medic. I actually I like that maybe because it would be field medic. I'm down for nurse too, but. We can sit on field medic because I think that also is the way for it.
And it's a new flavor because Vincent and Carolyn are kind of the more clinical types.
Yeah, and field medic implies, you know, like a bit more your a wartime medic, right? So exactly. You know what? Let's do. I think field medic will paint a better story for what we want to do. So let's do that. Doesn't hurt to do more, right? Especially when it's the subtitle. Okay. So this is interesting because Vincent and Carolyn kind of had their mirror. They've always mirrored each other in the game. And we haven't really had like a healing type character that wasn't going to be Carolyn. And then obviously we can infer that Vincent was going to work similarly for health. So it's kind of cool that we have something that we can potentially explore with healing or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, some random thoughts just to get like the ideas stirring. To me, field medics, they're dealing with the gruesome shit, right?
Yeah.
So what if there was a way we could explore like trauma in a way?
Good angle to take, because we don't have much trauma-focused stuff in the game.
Yeah, and this is actually something that Travis and I talked about for like that new card that came out in Drowned City, the one that heals trauma. But he was like, I don't like that. He didn't like that as a way that deals with trauma, right? Because
yeah, it's more just kind of big band-aid.
Exactly, right? So like if there's something interesting we can do with trauma, it's an avenue to explore. And I agree with what Bosnier is saying in chat. While Vincent and Carolyn are rewarded for being healed, a field medic would have the innate abilities to heal, right? Yeah, because that's something that I was also feeling as well. While an enemy is at your location, you get an extra action to heal. Doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. Interesting. So this is a great thing to check too. We should see what healing exists in the card pool we have here. Because, as we know, Vincent and Carolyn can kind of do anything. But this investigator isn't going to have the same sort of card pool because she is going to be Guardian 05 and then level 0 Seeker or Survivor. So I'm going to see what's in the off class for heal, just so we can get some ideas. Now we know there's a lot, and specifically level 0, please. All right. So forensics kit, medical texts, medical student, which is already Guardian, bizarre diagnosis and logical reasoning. So there's some stuff there. And then Survivor, Grimm's Fairy Tales, Peter Sylvester, and Bandages. So there's not much. So I don't know. But again, we don't need to worry about that dictating, like the Splashcast class dictating that. But it is something to keep in mind. But yeah, I think another place too is we can also look at the stat line, right? We could start trying to figure that out. I guess the question is, do we make another Guardian that is not a Guardian, right? Or do we make her enough of a Guardian that she can maybe also swing a wrench or something like that? You know, she can swing a weapon.
I'm looking back at the other investigators we've made just to kind of compare their stat lines.
Yeah, good idea. Because I don't think we actually have like another fighter. So we probably want this to be somewhat of a fighter.
Kind of. We got both Delphine and Moose.
Oh yeah, we do have Moose. Yeah, Moose he's enemy management. My gut says like she could have 3 fists. Like I think this is pretty alright. We could put her to 2 and make her foot higher, and she could be katana for some reason, because people like doing that sort of thing.
Somehow. But unfortunately, she doesn't get steady-handed, so...
She doesn't get steady-handed, no. But she does get artistic inspiration. Time Roller, 67 months at the Golden Table.
Now, looking at the stat lines, Will is kind of average across the board.
Okay.
Intellect is 3 for almost all of them, 4 for Seneca.
Incredible, okay.
We've got a spread of Fist from 2 to 5.
Okay.
And Foot is mediocre.
Okay, okay. So while we're looking at...
Guardian with 4 Foot would be kind of interesting.
Yep, I agree. It also then means that she can use both the Survivor and the Seeker thing, so she can use Forensics Kit. That is a new card that actually is available in Seeker that also heals if we do explore that route. You may use Foot instead. And also, I like the flavor of a field medic. You know, she's quick on her feet because she's, you know, always running around making sure people are okay. Through that tent, making sure everyone's going okay. I could go. I think we could go like with 4.
I'm thinking here. Is there some way we can make like the Safina 4-2-2-4 stat line work and give her some kind of a gimmick? Maybe it's like after you heal damage or horror from an investigator, their next attack or investigation either deals an extra damage or discovers an additional clue.
Okay. Yeah.
So she's not like directly contributing to clues and damage, but she's enabling it.
I mean, it also could be here. Let's just put this in here. Let's just see. Let's get the Safina. And then let's just go.
That doesn't leave much for trauma interactions.
That's okay, but we can poke that idea too. I think trauma's tough to interact with, so I have to heal an investigator. The next time that.
It's probably the next time this round, just to
yes,
negate it.
Yeah, I agree. Investigator, discover, deals damage. This round. Where should the colon be for this? Is it after you heal an investigator?
Yeah.
Yeah. That investigator.
Should it be limit once per round for each investigator? Because you kind of have to invest in healing for that.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I guess that doesn't need to be italics. It's reminder text, but it's not. That's I have to heal an investigator the next time. The next time. Investigators deals damage or discovers clues this round. That investigator deals 1 additional damage or discovers 1 additional clue. That's interesting. Let me just look at Min for a second. Don't mind me just getting the proper text in here. After you heal an investigator, the next time that investigators deal damage or discovers clues this round, that investigator deals 1 additional damage or discover. So it's kind of like a Carson. It's kind of like the Guardian support.
A little bit, but
she can swing a katana.
a little more self-sufficient, yeah.
Yeah. And I do also like that it works for her too, right?
Yeah.
I think that's very important. So, like, she could heal.
Yeah, she's a good Vambrace target.
Yeah. We also could do something a little bit funky. Let me just, I'm gonna just, I like this idea a lot. I think this is a good place to go, but let's also look at something like this. So I'm just gonna copy this and put this over here. But what if it was something like this as well? This might be, this is just a different avenue, so.
Not locked in just yet.
It's plus A. She pumps them up. It's plus X to all skills in the other round, where X is the amount of damage and or horror healed. So one is just like pure tempo value, right? And the other is just more efficiency. I think both of these are interesting avenues we could explore, right?
Yeah, either efficiency or souping people up.
Yeah.
I mean, this option would probably benefit her more because
yes,
healing herself would allow you to have room with that.
and also I think it differentiates her slightly from Carson, right? Because I feel like the other one is like a support kind of Carson thing, where it's just like he's basically just taking an action for them. Well, she's taking an action for them. But I think with this one, it's just like, this one has like a higher ceiling, you know? It's like, how can I heal 3 in a turn, you know?
Yeah.
And then I think we throw the same limit on it, right? So you can't like just heal 1, heal 1, heal 1. You get plus 3 to all your skills. Interesting. Of the two, is there one that resonates with you more?
I think the first one, just because it's more enabled in early game. Because
Okay.
if people don't have a lot of trauma and they're not taking a bunch of damage in horror, then your ability is just kind of off until people get damaged. That's kind of the problem with Vincent and Carolyn as well.
Yeah, and I suppose this is one of the things where this has like the easier to see. The other one has like the easier cap, where like burst healing is like a little bit. Sorry, like poke healing is a little bit easier to see the value from the other one. I get it. This one resonates with me a bit more because I see a higher ceiling, which is more interesting to me.
It does have a very interesting gameplay loop where you kind of want to let damage and horror build up and then heal it all at once.
Yeah. All right, let me just copy this as well. We can have both of these, and I can just go back to this first one for a little bit. Huh. Let me look at the upgraded Guardian cards that heal as well, just so we can get an idea of what she can do. Yeah, so the other thing that I like about the other one is that I feel like that would be, she would use that on herself more than just being another support, you know? But also, in all fairness, that other one does kind of eat, it's kind of similar to Vincent, right? Where it's just like stats for a test, but...
True. Though he is Seeker rather than Guardian, so...
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we can also just move one of them onto the signature.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think the bonus damage and bonus clues seems better for the signature that you have to fish for.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. It is a little bit awkward, though. You're 100% right about finding, like, that damage, right? At the start.
It would be interesting in, like, I know, give her, like, 8 health and 8 sanity, like Stella.
Yeah.
But she
Starts with trauma?
with 2 of each trauma.
I was honestly thinking the same thing. So I was thinking, like, during, like, on the back side, something like she gets trauma, or, like, she can give, like, each investigator may take 2 trauma at the start or something like that. But I think doing it on her, where she's an 8/8, but she starts with 2 of each trauma, I think is a very, very cool idea.
Yeah. Because, I mean, half the time people make Vincent and Carolyn decks, they take In the Thick of It not for the bonus XP, but just so they start with some damage in order to heal.
And then, like, you could still do that, right? But... And then what's really cool is, like, with that, for example, if we did the other one, right? Because I do agree. I think the clue one probably works better on her signature. If we did do that. But then, like, you play a medical student, and your stat line then for your next 2 actions, you're a 6/4/4/6.
Yeah.
I can get behind that. And then also it's funny, because if people just look at the front part of their card, they'll be like, why the hell does she have 8/8? You know? But... I think this is neat. And then, yeah, starting with 2 of each trauma, I think that's a great idea. Also very flavorful, too, right?
Yeah, she's been places and seen crap.
Yeah. And I like the stat line for this a lot. And then also what I personally really like is she can play that one card that I forget the name of right now.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, the blade, the blood blade. She can deal damage to herself, and then she can heal that damage. And it uses brain too. I think she's a really good user of that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Hungering Blade, I think it's called.
No, that's the. What's that card? She had one in chat. We'll say it.
Or there's like Blood Eclipse. And...
Yeah, Blood Eclipse. It's Blood Eclipse. Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, Hungering Blade was also take a damage, so...
Oh, is it?
That was an option.
Let's go! Yeah, Hungry Blade, 100%. Yeah, from the Bloodlust, right? If you cannot take one horror, yeah. And then Blood Eclipse? Alright, I think it works. I think that's a cool area she could live in. Let me grab the Seeker, our good friend Seneca, just so I can use the back of this. Okay. So she is Seeker or Survivor. And then deck building options is Guardian cards. Oh, I didn't change the Rogue on Seneca. I should quickly do that. Luckily, we haven't done anything. He's still a Rogue on the back. All right, Guardian card 05. Deck building requirements. We have Sig. We have weak, and we have one random basic weakness. And then it's additional requirements? Would it be under? Or would it be something else that we would call it?
I'm just looking at all the other investigators and seeing if there's anything similar. I think it'd just be like I'm looking at Lily Chen's, so it's at deck creation, take 2 physical trauma and 2 mental trauma.
And that would that be, what is that under? What is that for the header for Lily?
I think it was just under additional requirements.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Easy. At decoration, take 2 physical trauma and 2 mental trauma. Okay. Damage, she takes damage or horror. That's interesting. I think that's a nice flavor. I don't know if we have the card space for it, but I think that's pretty sweet. 4 trauma. She's an 8/8, but she's still 2 above the norm. Yeah, she'll be fine. I believe.
She's built to heal.
And she also has an incredible Mythos stat line, right? Like, what's the Mythos going to do? Kill her? Probably. One time, but the other 99 times she's going to do okay.
I mean, Calvin's a 6/6, and he gets through most campaigns okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because it's very easily. So actually, here's the thing. I am of the opinion that actually the 4 trauma makes her stronger. If we gave her 2 trauma, she would be weaker, in my opinion. I think the 4 trauma is actually what makes her actually stronger, because then she gets that kind of stuff. So one thing I also really like is, say for example she takes bandages, she could just, like, someone could take 1 damage in the Mythos phase, she can heal it, and that person just gets like a +1 to all stats for their for the round, which is really cool.
Yeah,
I think this is kind of neat. I also like Stu's idea, kind of like in taking inspiration from the bone saw, where your sig should amputate or sig could amputate someone, giving them a trauma, but they get XP. But we already have an XP giving signature in this. We're probably happy with that.
That's a good excuse for me to avoid more bonus XP on player cards.
Yep. Okay, what should her elder sign be? Assuming she can all stick in the thick of it. She can.
She can start a campaign with 6 trauma.
Hell yeah. She's seen some shit. I would do it. Because if you think about it, she really actually only has... I know, like, the numbers seem very scary, but she really only has 1 of each trauma to start. Because she has those extra hit points to make up for it.
Yeah.
It's what's crazy what the mind can do, right? We see 4, but it's actually not 4. Should we just keep the Elder Sign the same? That would be so funny. Seneca's.
Let's see. I mean, there's the basic option of just healing somebody with the Elder Sign, but I feel like we can do something more interesting than that.
I kind of want to go crazy. Like, this was my gut. This was my gut. Because I like flashy Elder Signs, okay? Draws.
+4, no effect. What is this core set?
I just want to go big.
That would be nuts.
Yeah.
Like, imagine you're Calvin towards the end of a scenario, and the nurse is like, draw 10.
Do you want to draw 12? Yeah, do you want to draw 10? And I was like, okay. Okay.
No, voice of the messenger.
Yeah. I'm dead. You killed me, nurse. Man just wants to draw cards. They are great Elder Signs. We could go something else, though, which is like return a card that heals from play or your discard pile to your hand. We could go something like that. You may. We go something like that as well, like +1.
That would be pretty good because it helps with survivor cards especially, and just a lot of the expendable ones too. So she doesn't have to stuff as many cards in her deck that heal.
Yes, exactly, right? Like it gives like a little bit of like recursion for that just she can take advantage of.
I think you were talking about this. I don't remember if it was with Daniel or with somebody else, but it was like, when you build a Carolyn or Vincent deck, how many cards in your deck should heal?
Yeah. It's a tough balance, and I feel like if we offer some support, it might make it less required, you know?
Yeah.
We could also explore with trauma, you know? But what other recursion would she have? Well, if she takes Survivor, she can recur her bandages. That's the thing, right? We're not looking at this as recursion as something that she can do in her kit, but rather it's like Dexter's ability, where it gives you an easier proc of your ability in the future, right? So it just like makes her more consistent to take some stress out of deck building, right?
I think Bosniera might also be onto something with, like, her Elder Sign is just, you may take an immediate action which can only be used to heal.
Yep. I like that too. Yeah, it's not much. There is not much recursion. She could, like, resourceful back bandages. I think that's the only thing she has that I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah. An immediate action, which you can only use to heal.
I think it's which can only be used. Just semantics.
Only be used to heal?
Yeah.
Perfect. I mean, action which can only be used to heal. I like that. The only thing is I hate dead Elder Signs. Whenever I get an Elder Sign and I can't use the value, I'm like, what am I doing here, you know?
It's still a +2.
It is still a +2, but it's still I'm just always like, once again, I'm just like, well. What's the
Then we
point?
get into the people arguing like, I am using this action to heal. It's the runic axe with the heal benefit.
I mean, technically, that would be alive. Sorry, that would be a line you can follow. Of those three that we have so far, is there one that resonates with you more than the others? I'm down to still poke too, because I feel like with every other character we've had like a aha elder sign, I feel like we haven't hit hers yet, so I'm down to still explore as well.
Yeah, I'm not super attached to any of the options yet.
The ability is strong, so the other sign can be poopy. Is the ability strong? Or is it actually limited?
Well,
Because I think the ability, I think it's strong, but I think it'll run out of gas eventually.
Because she's Seeker or Survivor, maybe it could be search your deck or grab one from the discard pile.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Instead of return to your hand. +0.
I mean, not search your whole deck, but like the top
Yeah.
3
Search.
cards, I think, is pretty common for an Elder Sign.
I think the ability is largely useless. Other characters, including yourself, have enough in their decks to pass checks without the boost. I do agree with Dice Gods. Well, I don't think it's largely useless. I think that it's more incidental than it is something that you are. Like, it's just making healing better, right? It's not like the game plan. The game plan as the group is not, I am going to heal you so you can get value for this next test, so that you can actually get ahead on this next test. It's like, I'm healing you, so maybe make the boost until the end of the next Mythos phase instead of end of the round. That's interesting as well, right? Because then there is like a reason for the defensive stats. But I think her ability is best used on her, right? So you do that thing like we were talking about. You use Blood Eclipse, and then you just like next turn heal all that damage, and then just go nuts with other methods as well. But until the end of the next Mythos phase is pretty neat too.
And then you combo with somebody using Gold Pocket Watch, so you just keep stacking those bonuses.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, I think until the end of the Mythos phase. I think that is... So the only thing that sucks about this one is that if she, for example, uses bandages during the Mythos phase, it doesn't do anything. But I think that is better of a car. This is better of an ability.
No, it still applies for during the current one.
Yeah, so, but I guess, but if you take damage, it's like one of those things where, then the next Mythos phase, no, I think that's okay. No, I was going to say, I think that's a fine give up. I think that's fine, right? Because then she can choose. I don't think this +1 to your stats are going to matter here. We'll save that for the future. Like, it actually makes it so it's more active investigation phase ability, which I think is better, because then it can kind of like carry over defensively as well. What I'm saying is I think this is a good, while we lose that cool thing with the bandages during the Mythos phase, I think that this is a better ability because of that, right?
It's less reactive and more preparative.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, exactly. I think that's cooler.
Elder Sign being take or heal 1 damage or horror is exactly Calvin's.
Hell yeah, we love Calvin. Okay, yeah, so there's the search one too. I think that might be a bit wordy with we're running out of room on this. We need something like snappy, you know?
Alright, this might be weird.
I love weird.
Your Elder Sign can convert physical to mental trauma or vice versa.
Oh, weird. That is weird.
Like you can actually help Roland out of his mental trauma hell.
Yeah, you can convert someone's mental trauma to physical trauma, or vice versa. That's fricked up. I love that. I don't know how good of an Elder Sign effect it is, but I love that as a mechanic. And I think that if that's what that healing card in Drowned City had, was it changed it, I think Travis would be a lot less bothered by it. Or grieve someone by killing them off. Amen.
Yeah, because if you convert the trauma, you can also, like, heal 1 damage or horror of whatever you changed it from.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a little out there if it's too much.
Yeah, I think I really like the thing. I think it's probably not what we want for an elder sign, but I think that it is a very cool idea. I think the problem is her ability takes up so much space, you know? It takes up a lot. No, I like the idea of the corset, where it's like +0. You may take 1 trauma. Just treat this as a +4. Classic early game elder sign. And then there was Daisy, who was just draw cards, which is, like, you know, much better than Roland, Agnes. Skids' was very nice. I kind of like that one you had, though. That's the one that's feeling the best for me, though. You may take action to heal. Limit once per investigator per round is shorter and saves a line break. So I copied Min's text for that. And I would rather just, like, copy something that exists than change it, because that's how you get templating issues. Yeah, because it's one of those things where I imagine in the start of Arkham, they didn't go back and check old cards, and then eventually now if they go back and check a card, they can check a card that is completely different than another card, right?
It was a bit of a lawless frontier.
Yes, yeah, it was, yeah. Godless country. So I like, the reason I do like this one is, even though, yeah, again, like, you can use the Runic Axe, which is going to be super sick with her. Like, it's going to be, like, I could definitely see people building that deck with the Glory or whatever it is.
Yep, I mean, if they can do it with Carson, they can definitely do it with her.
Exactly, right? Now go and read Carson. Yeah, Carson's different, isn't he? Because there's always going to be limit once per round for each investigator. Limit once? That is so funny to me. See, yeah, if they just like did what I did, where it was like, oh, what's Min's text? Because she has this same template on it. That's unfortunate. Oh.
This is our curse to bear.
Yep. Yep. I mean, like, also, like, I respect it because when we're doing this, like, you and I are just sitting comfortably in our chairs. They probably have a meeting they need to go to in 10 minutes, you know? Where it's like to talk about, oh, this next set coming out in a year, you know, right? This is the lowest stakes we could ever be in.
And there's nobody overhead that we have to, like, check with, like, so what if we completely destroyed everything we've ever built?
Yes, yeah,
for this
yeah.
one card.
Yeah. And then also, like, if it's too strong, we can change it easily, you know? Well, other people can use Min's ability, but only Carson can use his action.
I'm pretty sure Min has to be the one to use her ability.
Yeah, I don't think other people... I think Min still triggers the ability. Yeah, I think you're right.
So, do you
Yeah,
think this is a good baseline to figure out the signatures then?
I think so. I still don't like the Elder sign, but I think it's fine. You know, like I think, well, I don't think it's bad, but it's not like, I'm not like, this is like, most other Elder signs we've made, I've been like, that's really cool, you know? But I think this character is pretty, it's healing, right? We need to have some sort of healing thing, so we're kind of already limited by it, right?
This may jump things down, but which can only be used to heal or play a card that heals, because in a lot of decks that I've played.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm like,
oh,
like I have 3 actions every round, and I want to play this Hallowed Mirror, but I have 3 other things I want to do this round, so it's gonna have to wait again.
It did shrink it. It did shrink it.
Though it does make the top block look a bit nicer.
It does. And then I guess we could add some flavor. More bandages! Yeah, we could add like a one-liner flavor thing at the bottom, and then it all fits in there really nicely.
And doing the recent Star Wars meme, more!
Yeah. No, you know what? We should just be really crazy and let everyone decide. We'll just give her Hunter, and then people can decide what that means. What? They're like, well, she moves towards me in the enemy phase.
Oh no.
Okay, yeah, all right. Let's do the SIGs. All right. Well, we know the weakness is going to be an asset.
Yep, because we are doing a trend.
Asset. All right, Guardian Design weakness, and then, okay. Let me just pull up Seneca's. Oh, we also don't have Seneca Rhodes deck only on this one.
Well, they're never on the...
Oh, no, they're on the signatures. They're on the signatures, right. Okay, yeah. If only they did that as well. We could do it on that one. Perfect. Yeah, because it's only 3 lines. All right. Her weakness has to be a wounded person. She has to triage to heal before she can heal anyone else. Unfortunately, that sounds like... I mean, it's really good, but it's actually a mix of Carolyn's and Vincent's. So I'm hoping we can do something different. But that is pretty much Carolyn and Vincent's weaknesses put together. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Powerful Manfly. I feel like it has to be some sort of a wartime trauma thing, kind of like Mark, right?
Maybe it's something that after you heal damage or horror from somebody, it like builds up resources on it, and you have to alleviate that somehow.
Okay. Okay. Man, do you think they also are kicking themselves for all this extra text they have to put on these cards?
A little bit. I think most of all just that gigantic semicircle on the bottom.
Yes, yeah.
Let's just not use 10% of the card for anything.
All right, do you want to just I lost what you were saying. Do you want to give me your idea again? Just like the general?
So it's like after you heal damage or horror from an investigator or ally asset. Well, I guess you don't even need to specify. Like after you heal damage or horror,
Yeah.
place an equal amount of resources on this card. And either there's a threshold where everything goes wrong, or like a stacking penalty based on the amount of resources.
Okay. And then how should we remove it? I mean, what? Okay, man, it's a bit dark and heavy, but I love dark and heavy. What if it literally is the idea of trauma, where when it comes into play, it just accrues resources, and then when it hits a threshold, it just discards itself and doesn't affect.
I mean, building up to trauma does seem like it would help her in a way.
Yeah. And then, but the question is that we always have to ask is it enough to make you want to, like, is the effect, because if there's not a passive thing that's a problem, is there a reason to actually have it trigger, right?
Okay, I've got a different idea in mind now.
Okay.
So when you would heal damage from somebody, you deal an equal amount of horror to them.
Oh!
And vice versa.
Or vice versa? Interesting.
So, like, you're trying hard to heal them, but you're freaking out, or you're trying hard to calm someone down and you're being violent about it.
From an investigator.
Get a hold of yourself, slap, slap.
Amount horror to them, and vice versa. Interesting. When you heal damage from an investigator, deal an equal amount of horror to them, and vice versa.
I guess it'd be a colon after investigator.
Yes, it would. I'm always bad for those because I don't. Yeah, it's just the grammar. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not how it works, but it is for this one. So, when you heal damage from an investigator, deal an equal amount of horror to them, and vice versa. Interesting.
And how do we get rid of it?
Let's see how wordy this is. No, that won't work.
I guess you should also specify when you heal damage from investigator or ally asset.
Yeah, we could, but this one's just investigator. Do we need to have that differentiate if it's just that one? If, like, she can still heal ally assets, is that a problem?
I guess we didn't think about that earlier.
I like it if it's just investigators, because I feel like that's also a good differentiator between Carolyn and Vincent.
True. And kind of, I don't know, goes against soak, because you kind of want less things that soak directly, which I think is fine, because the game is already kind of too soak dependent in a way.
I agree. Yeah, sorry, let me just get this T out of here, I guess. Cause I think we're fine. I think we're fine with just this one, because I think the ally stuff, it's like a separate line. You know, it feels different, right?
A little bit, and most allies have a 1 in something, so it's like kill all allies.
Yeah. Action: deal somebody a damage. So yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? Which just like heal an investigator at your location for one damage or horror, then discard this card. A complicated way of hurting somebody. I think that it needs to be more than this, but that's kind of the line that I was thinking, right?
And also, what's it doing as an asset right now?
Yeah, no, great point. Double action, that's always what they do, isn't it? That's always what they do.
Maybe it's just after investigate your location takes damage or horror. Place a resource on this card.
Oh. We can get really fucky with it. After you heal the last damage or horror from an investigator, discard weakness.
That could be brutal.
It could be brutal. But you know me.
Like it's very timing dependent. It could be
it
nothing,
could be,
or it could be it's staying in play for the rest of the game. Good luck, guys.
yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of a way that we can get the task part of this without adding too much more text, you know?
I mean, there's a way to make it really mean and also manageable.
Yeah.
So it would be, it doesn't leave play. It's there for the rest of the game. But when you would heal an investigator, you like either discard a card or spend a resource to ignore the forced effect.
Oh, that would be interesting. We haven't really. Is there a weakness? There has been a weakness that just stays in play, right?
I mean,
I like the design space though.
I want to say there is, but I can't think of what it is.
Mark Bad Sophie. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, that's the one that kind of, if you flip it, it kind of just stays. What if it's like at the end of your turn, if you healed 3 or more damage and horror, discard this card.
It's not a bad option, but again, I'm wondering why it's an asset then.
Well, what's the alternative then?
Like it would just be like a basic weakness kind of thing.
To make it a little bit like more for them. Let's look at some of our other guys too, so we can see. Well, we know the rogue one's good. I want to see the survivor one again, because that's the one that we changed to be an asset. Yeah, of course. Roll-in stays in play. And skids too. Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't do anything after they're dealt with versus this
Yes,
one.
yeah, that one was always active. Yeah,
And
that was that like an always active weakness.
I guess that would also make like top decking your weakness just ruin your game.
This was such a good design. So annoying barfly is one that stays in your hand because we went for the Dexter inspiration on that one.
Yeah.
Seeker of Meaning comes into play. So all of them come into play. Is there one way we could do this where it goes into her hand? Like it stays in her hand?
Like a hidden weakness?
No, but like kind of like just to make it better, like not just a task, right? Like kind of like something like annoying barfly.
Yeah, but Agnes is an event. Hmm.
All right, here's an idea. Maybe I was just like quick thing I noticed completely unrelated to today's, but bogged down clues can be spent as per the clues on player cards change, right? I don't think so.
Because once a weakness enters your play area, it is no longer a player card.
Yeah, and also cover up already has clues, so there's no precedent for that. Okay. For Bogdone though, why not make it a treachery like Roland's thing? Because they're all just assets. All the weaknesses are just assets here for all of our investigators. And I also think that to me, assets work better for tasks than events do, in retrospect. For me personally, but it's mostly just because like it's everyone else is an asset. Okay. So what if it is kind of like, what if this is like the idea that people had?
Oh, real quick before you go on, this would probably be dealing an equal amount of direct horror because otherwise people could just redistribute all their damage and horror to their assets.
Very fair. But cover up is a treachery, not an asset you control. But I still think it's not a player card. Once it's in your threat area, it's no longer, it becomes an encounter card, doesn't it?
Yeah, like.
And you can't, and I'm pretty sure you can't spend clues off of cultists from Path to Carcosa if they're in your threat area, right? So.
Because another example, I think Baron Samedi is not a player card for like the purposes of Doom on player cards for Marie's ability. At least I don't think so.
Okay, so here's my thought. Let's get back to this. I disagree. Baron does trigger Marie's ability.
I don't think he's a card she controls because once there's a rule written down for once weaknesses enter your play area from your deck, they're no longer cards you control. They're not player cards, or I may be jumbling up the rule, but it had something to do with it changing type or control.
Today I learned I should not have shown Bog Down. All right. Yeah, so they are considered to be player cards when their bearer's deck, but are considered being counter cards while they are being resolved and once they have entered play. So they are encounter cards.
And players do not control encounter cards.
Nope, definition right here. While they are in play. While they're being resolved and once they have entered play. Yeah. I mean, in all fairness,
I was wrong too.
In all fairness, the weakness stuff is shitty stuff sometimes. There's a lot of weird baggage that comes with it.
One thing with the cult scraps, that's just them also forgetting the exact definition of things.
All right, so let's go back to my idea. Let's get off this tangent that we got stuck on, and let's come back to the fun stuff, not the weird rules baggage. So what if we make this an ally? And then while in your hand,
and that doesn't need anything to leave play, you just need to get him out.
Yeah. But then also, like, what if it's like there's something that then, like, if it leaves play, because I feel like I should be an ally, and I think it should be able to, like, soak for you, right? Like, very little, like even just 1 and 1. And then it's like when
we don't need the revelation anymore.
Let's go. Move any damage or horror on it to your investigator card. Just so it's not free, you know?
Why would you want it to leave play at all then?
Because it takes up your ally slot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So here's my thought was that it's like a ghost. It's like trauma, you know, but we make it like a spirit, right? And then it costs like 3.
That's good flavor. Well, not spirit. It would be Geist.
Oh yeah, there we go. Geist. Well, weakness in your hand, when you heal damage from an investigator, deal an amount of damage to horror to them and vice versa when least play. So yeah, you could do the whole charisma thing and just solve it. Should also be a veteran. That's not a bad idea. That's kind of fun. Can you take a picture of the guys with the new camera? You can! While weakness is in your hand, when you deal damage, when you heal damage from an investigator, deal an equal amount of direct horror to them and vice versa. When weakness leaves. So I think the true flavor for this one is that you're mostly going to end up just not healing for that time. Like, you're unlikely to do it, right? Unless someone can take it. But I do also enjoy that in the long run, you can, like, heal through this once you've gotten the through it, right? Like you can like, okay, I'm back to healing normally again.
Maybe it's like while it's in your hand or in play, it does the effect, and then forced after it's been in play for like one full round, then it goes away on its own.
Okay, yeah. So like the ghost kind of like dissipates away.
Yeah.
Well, is in your I'm just gonna go for modifier in your hand or in play. In your hand or in play. You heal damage. We can go like at the end of the round, place one resource on if it already had a resource. Discard it instead.
Probably doesn't need the damage and horror values then.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know who the artist is for this. I couldn't find it, but this is probably the art we want to use.
Oh, hell yeah. That seems great. I think it lasts one round, but then it shuffles into the deck. Fits. Yeah, I guess it could shuffle in, but we also could just we would lower the cost if we did do that. But I think it's okay to kind of have this be do we like this time, or should it just be like at the end of the round, get rid of it?
I think it can just last one round.
Okay. The other round, discard.
Hold on a minute.
If this is recursive at all, I would never play it and just be forced to take the extra wax. Yeah. Unless it was like, yeah, because it's like, how many actions do you want to put into this? And the answer is as little as possible, right? As little as possible. I think that this is a pretty fair solve once, and then it's done until a reshuffle.
Didn't find the artist, but here's an expanded version of it.
Oh, hell yeah, sweet.
To give us more room for cropping.
Yeah. All right. What should we name and tagline this one?
Let's see.
Okay, lower it slightly because I'm. That looks pretty cool. With the wider one, we can see the people in the background too. Yeah. Let me just see what it looks like. I'll just put like subtitle. Yeah, that's not bad. I think that's okay for the framing. I like this. I think this is neat. Memories of the Fallen is the sub. I think that's pretty. I think that's a pretty alright tagline. I like it. I think we maybe go Memory of the Fallen though, because it's only one ally.
Sorry, I'm thinking. We should probably also change the timing to get rid of it until at the end of the Mythos phase to match her ability.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, sounds good. Just somebody's name. That could be something. It could be a unique. I don't know why, but I also want this guy to soak for like 4 and 4. I just want that. I don't know why, but like, I'm okay if this guy soaks some horror for her while she's out. I just feel it in my bones. I don't know. I could be talked off of this. Well, actually, sorry. 4/4 wasn't enough. I wanted like infinite, but I just feel like this ghost should be able to soak, and I don't think it's that big of an issue if he does.
And I sent you a couple ideas.
Why would he soak damage? It's trauma. It's actually all her. That's the thing. The ghost isn't real. It's all in her head. Oh, those are both really good. Oh my god. I have to go for this first one because it's like, it gave me kind of goosebumps. Sorry, I like the Memory of the Fallen, but Beard was cooking, and Beard got just a number now. Yes. All right. No soak, though. We're not going to do that. Yes. All right. All right, signature time. This dude does nothing at all if you draw him in the upkeep? Are you crazy?
You still have to play him.
Yeah, you have to play him. He's going to take an action in 3 reasons.
At the end of the Mythos phase, if he is in play.
Ah, I see. If he's in play. I guess, yeah, that is a thing, yeah. That's why it's good to have... No, but that's good. Dice Gods. No, you actually nailed it. No, that was very important. If... is in play, discard it. No, because that's good. Because now we don't have to. Basically, you gave us the. You saw that. That's a very important thing. So I'm glad you pointed that out.
Right, more nitpicking. At the end of the Mythos phase, colon, and if fallen soldier is in play, comma.
Yes, I was actually just about to add that comma. If is in play. In play, discard it. Boom. There we go. This phase, if fallen soldier play, discard it. Perfect. There we go. Now that's good. That's perfect. Then there's it's basically like people can't question it. It's now exactly what it's easy to figure out there. All right, back to this signature though. What should we do? Do we want to go with that original idea we had and explore that, or do we want to try something funkier?
I think because it's going to be on an asset, it can be something a little funkier. We don't have to have her be damage and clue compression. We might,
sure,
but it doesn't like have to be what we settle on.
Cool.
Because we still don't really know what her full gameplay loop is.
No, we don't.
Because she does kind of run the Safina risk right now of if you don't have assets that do things, then what are you doing?
Yep. If you're not healing, then like... Alright.
Like if you run out of things to heal, what are you doing? That kind of thing.
Well, I mean, what if we help support that with the Elder Sign idea that we had? Where it's like emergency supplies. Better name, but obviously, but like something then it's like, given that, I'm giving this shit fast, but it's like action, search the top X cards of your deck, or choose a card in your discard pile that heals. Search your cards of your deck for a card that heals. Return, draw that card. Something like that. Like the idea that we had, but like put it on the asset. So then it's just like she has recursion or the ability to find it, which kind of helps give her a tool in here to deal with things. And this obviously should have like uses 3 supplies or something like that.
Yeah.
But like it could be something like this.
It could also be like, I don't know, I was gonna say something like either backpack or like Michael's new violin case.
Uh-huh. Help you find it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I think Viola case is an okay place to be. Where it's like nurse deck only. And what if it's like,
I think that should be the first line, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. Zoop.
Actually,
Yeah.
let me see something.
I mean, maybe these can all actually be on this. Dude, don't mind me. I know you're looking for something, but I'm just putting down some stuff here.
Yeah, I was looking at other cards, but there's more inconsistent templating, so just it's fine. Like for Roland's gun, Roland deck only is on a separate line, but on Joe Diamond's gun, it's on the same line as uses ammo.
Perfect. Perfect. No, I guess it's, sorry, it's after play. This could be 9, but I'm going to do 12 just for backpack.
I think it's fine for something that's just enabling healing.
It could just be something as simple as that.
I'd make the reaction the first one, just so people don't miss it.
Sure. Yeah, because I guess Viola case is because it's a passive text. That's a great point.
Yeah.
It also looks nicer because this one is shorter.
There you go.
And this allows her, I mean, like, obviously I think this character is going to play Hallowed Mirror and Soothing Melody, but like having, I just copied Soothing Melody's text, and I think that's probably still good, right? It could also just be upgraded first aid kit.
Whichever one's more convenient, I guess.
Yeah, this one actually just might be better because, I mean, so, it's funny, because Hallowed Mirror is actually better than first aid kit for this, but first aid kit is a higher experience card, so does it feel better? But I think we just do this one. I think we just do Soothing Melody. Because then, alternatively, this means that this might push people to play Martyr's Vambrace instead, right?
Yeah.
Like, it might mean that they won't only... They probably still will, but they won't only play that. Item. Supply. Science, I guess? What's
Sounds
first
good
aid?
to me.
It's a talent and a science, but this is not a talent. What do you think this should cost?
3.
3? I was gonna say 2.
I was saying 3 because of the added search, and it is fast.
It does mirror her weakness at 3 as well.
Like, if it wasn't fast, then I'd say 2, but because it is fast, I'd say 3.
Okay.
So honestly, because her Elder Sign lets her play a card that heals, we could make it not fast and then 2.
It's just 2. I'm down. I'm down. Nice. Icons. Can we just do like maybe Wild Wild?
Wild Wild sounds good.
All right. I mean, that's simple. I think that's simple, and it's nice because this was. I think you had a good point where, like, what if she has the same risk of Safina, but this actually solves that problem by like giving her something to heal with and find more healing, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should spell "and" right. And add it to your hand.
Got the art there for you.
Nice. Perfect. Do you know the artist? Oh, there, it's right there.
As a
I
matter
should
of
have
fact,
checked
I
before
do.
asking. Oh, I guess I should put unknown artist on the other one.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of zooming in a bit. These ones are always, when they're in just a black void, are always a little bit tough.
Yeah, and we can also add a subtitle of some kind just to...
I also would love a better name, too.
Let's see. Maybe just field surgery kit.
I'm down. I do like it. They can also find Runic Axe again if they have the upgrade. I'm all for it. I love the idea.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Oh, because it searches for a card that heals, so they can grab the if they have glory on the Runic Axe. I like that still.
Oh, true.
I think stuff like that is better than us like worrying about those kind of restrictions. It makes it more fun. So
Let me think of a subtitle for this.
for sure. Oh, and then I will add artist unknown. It happens sometimes. If you can't find it, your artist, just search hard. But if you ultimately can't, just say artist unknown.
Yeah, I used 3 different reverse image searches, and it's all just like Russian desktop websites. And they just hate crediting artists.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes, unfortunately, in some cases, but... Oh, we also guys need to name this character, too.
We do.
I think I would love to play this character, though. I also like the foot because she can actually use that new forensics kit pretty well.
True. I mean, specifically because of the cards that got added for Lucius,
Yeah.
I think that she's functional with either Seeker using her foot
Yeah.
or Survivor just using stuff like old keyring and
Yeah.
whatnot.
And also, like, there is a lot of healing in Seeker, too, at level 0, which is nice. Like, there's even just, like, the logical reasoning to just, like, do that as well. So there's options for her to get stuff done in both Seeker and Survivor. I think it's actually a really nice card pool for her.
Yeah. I think the subtitle for the surgery kit can just be like the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Which is especially funny compared with her weakness.
Yes. You know, when the world's collapsing around you, and you're having a anxiety panic attack, you know, that's kind of what weaknesses are all about. You know, sometimes you forget your first do no harm, and then it says first, comma, do harm.
First do no harm, but then second do some harm.
Yeah. I feel like she should be French, because the artist is French, the anonymous French artist.
I agree. So it's time to look up more French names because our voodoo investigator was also French.
Yep. I think her signature's nice. I think her signature's nice and strong. It's not really, like, exciting, like, compared to some of our other ones, but I still think it's really cool.
Honestly, signatures that are like reliable are
Yes.
much nicer to have for me because, like, I'm trying to think of the amount of times I've played like all signatures across the board, and the ones that are like niche but cool, I don't play as often as the ones that are just like obvious value.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Because yeah, in this one, it's such a good, it's a very good tool. Like, you'll keep this in your mulligan anytime you see it, right? And with some of the other ones, like, you might not. But now that we have them all designed, I guess it's time to start stress testing these and seeing what we can cook up. And I think that's going to be really fun. Because I've actually have never played an investigator I designed in this game, so...
Never once?
Never once. I don't think so. If I did, it wasn't memorable, obviously. Oh, that's a pretty good name from chat.
Rene Descartes was a philosopher.
Was
He.
Was he?
Yeah, he was the I think therefore I am guy.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that. Learned something new today. That's why the name's so good, because it's real. She's named after the philosopher. There we go. No, we already have our Monterey Jack obvious pull in this one in the form of Seneca Rhodes, I think was his last name.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the guy I'm most excited to play because he seems very strong, so I'm very excited to try that out. I'm so excited to play Art Student with him. It's going to be fun. All right, we have the name Yvette Perot. I love it. Cool design. I think we got 5 cool designs out of this.
Yeah, I think each of them has their own, like, unexplored territory to probe out.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think the deck building is actually cool because I think it was open, but also it's very restrictive too. So,
don't forget to say what her signatures are.
Thank you. No, it's sorry, it's not Sig Weak.
Weak.
All right, so we have Field Surgery Kit and Fallen Soldier. Yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. But I got some good news for people who've been enjoying this. We're not done, because we have to, well, we have to revisit these hopefully in the future. But additionally, we have to make some basic weaknesses to go with these investigator cycles. So that's going to be a video coming out in the near future. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you all for the next one. Bye!